Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet an enterprising young entrepreneur who's making a name for himself in the software space. His journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I have some special gifts in this universe, and one of them is storytelling. I also have some deficits, and one of them is IT. I can't even spell IT. That's why I bring very smart people onto the show, like Omer Muhammad. He's with IT4U. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so have you always been gifted in tech?
I don't think so. I think, like anything, if you just keep on practicing and surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, you'll pick up a couple things.
What does IT4U do?
So we are a software development company, and myself, I've been involved in the application development space for the better part of a decade now. And I've been fortunate enough to transform this passion of mine into a company. And today we have just over 15 employees and 24 projects under our belt.
Congratulations. What was the pandemic like for you?
So the pandemic for us was, to be very honest with you, not much different. The only difference was that I wasn't meeting clients face to face. And that was a little bit difficult, but everyone was very understanding about that. And I think what separates us from other companies is our focus on understanding what the clients need better than better than themselves, right? So that was a little bit more difficult, but we're very fortunate that we're a service that does not rely or is not affected by pandemics.
Sure. We're going to show your website and scroll down the website because I was impressed with it. Yours is a fairly young company, just 3 years old.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what kind of clients do you look for?
So we work with both startups and mid-sized level enterprises. And our goal is to either a mid-sized company, they're at a point where they need something customized just for them, and they can no longer rely on different SaaS because they're losing hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes millions of dollars, because SaaS is meant for the masses, not for the unique application that mid-sized enterprise needs.
Just before the show, you were telling me a great story about a pharmacy that you've helped. Tell that story.
So it was very cool. So as we had a pharmacy, and they are actually a warehouse pharmacy, and it's a good model because that warehouse pharmacy, they have less overhead, so the medication is cheaper for the end client or the customer. But a lot of their customer base was actually elderly people who lived in very far areas, and picking up the medication was often not easy for them. So they asked us to create an application that acted as a dispatcher and as a delivery service. So what the application does is whenever the medication is made or packaged at a pharmacy, the employee would then click a button on the app. The app would then send a mass text message or email to all the drivers that are already on the platform. And then whoever's quickest will pick it up, deliver it to Greenville, McKinney, Prosper, wherever these far out areas are. And the whole thing is HIPAA compliant, which is basically from a technical point of view, that's what makes this app different from Uber. for example.
Sure. We've got some generic video of IT, just servers from our stock footage library. I know that you're always solving problems for companies. What separates you from, say, a larger competition? Do you have more customer service because you're smaller?
Yeah, so I always say this, that I can't tell you who to choose, but I can tell you things that are not the common, or things that you would think are the right way to look at a company, but they're actually counterintuitive. And one of the things is people always assume that it's better to hire a bigger company. And I always say that unless you're Coca-Cola, you are probably not going to be their focus. Whereas if you hire me, everything I have will be devoted to you because you are my biggest priority.
And do you ever come across a problem you can't solve? The client comes to you and they want this
Yes,
software?
absolutely. There have been times, actually, my first company was a problem I was not able to solve. So, and I'm very aware of that. And anything I can, a lot of the time, there's a lot of engineering problems I'm not able to solve. So I will be the first to say, this is not in our wheelhouse.
Yeah, which I think is a smart thing to do. You want to over-deliver every single time.
Absolutely. I always say that our focus is like commander's intent, is to understand what the client needs better than they understand themselves.
And I know you're proud of your team. Tell me what kind of team members you try to attract.
So some of my team are actually my friends, and everyone I try to attract are go-getters, go-givers. To give an example, I have one of my employees, like he was talking to me actually like last month, and he was telling me how he also works, he has another job, and so he's as a software developer as well, and he also fixes cars. And he was telling me that he just flipped a Porsche, he was working for me, and he just got a raise at his other company, and he made almost $25,000 that month. And he's 24 years old, and he's like, I'm pretty sure I can do this repeatedly for the rest of the year, month after month. So those are the people I go after, that people who, and there's a saying that if you want something done stat, give it to the busiest person in the room, right? And I go after people that already have a lot on their plate because they know how to manage their time.
Oh, that's very, very smart. Where do you see your company going in the next few years?
So I'm very confident that within 10 years, we will be the lead software development company in the DFW area.
Wow. Well, congratulations on your early success, and many blessings for prosperity as you continue on this journey.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You bet. We're going to end with the website, which is IT4U.dev. The great Omer Muhammad. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.